Suede Connection.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Elvis party, everybody. The little party we throw every week here, and we have a good time just spinning Elvis music, being silly, and having a good time and sharing lots of good information.
I know, I'm telling you, if that song didn't get you dancing, I don't know what will.
Well, we got a whole lot more stuff on the way. You don't want to miss it. We got a bunch of top 10 lists. Everybody in the industry has an opinion of the best Elvis song, the best country, the best romance Elvis song. All that stuff. We're going to cover all that today and a whole bunch more. You're listening to Blue Suede Connection.
Good stuff.
Yeah, you know, it's only fitting that Elvis would have to cover that song.
Well,
Memphis, Tennessee, it's such a, a part of who Elvis
it's like
was.
It was written just for him.
Chuck must have known. He probably thought, I'm going to sing this, but I bet you Elvis wants to do it one day.
Yeah, I'm sure he knew, and everybody wanted Elvis to do their stuff.
There was well, Chuck and Elvis, there was a mutual respect there. Chuck really dug Elvis, and of course, vice versa. And Elvis did a couple other songs at the time. He did Promised Land, and there's a story where actually Elvis and Sammy Davis Jr. were hanging out in Vegas, and they went to see Chuck Berry in one of his shows, and they snuck up in the front row. And Chuck's up on stage. He goes, "Oh my!" He goes, "When Elvis and Sammy Davis Jr. are in the crowd, you got to be on your P's and Q's."
I bet that makes somebody really nervous.
Yeah, he said he was, but he loved Elvis and said lots of good things about him, and of course, Elvis about Chuck.
And Sammy Davis Jr. was such a good guy too.
Mr. Dynamo, they used to call him. And I like those stories. I like those respectful stories about artists, and everybody paid homage to each other. They all would go to each other's shows.
In Vegas, especially.
That's what they did.
I wonder if that still happens, but they got such big rooms now that they all play in that, you're in the front row, they probably can't see them.
It's a whole different world now.
Yeah, it's really a shame because the intimacy is gone.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, just like, you and I, we shared a story a while back that when we were in Vegas, we went to what was then the Hilton. But it's
Westgate.
Westgate now. But you and I, they let us go in that showroom where That's the Way It Is was filmed. And I remember in the film, they had those booths and all that. Everybody singing when Elvis gets into the crowd. Yeah. Those booths are all gone now. It's theater seating now.
Theater seating, because you can get more people in.
Yeah, you can get more people. It's just a totally different feel. From one of TL's favorite movies right there.
It is one of my favorite
Change of
movies.
Habit. Yeah, it's one of my favorite ones, too. One that doesn't get a whole lot of attention like some of the
other
ones.
No, it doesn't. It's got a great storyline, though.
Dr. John Carpenter.
Dr. John.
Stat. Yeah, there you go. So I said we're going to share all, from Rolling Stone to this.com and that.com. They all have their idea what they think is the best albums, the best singles, and the must-haves and this and that. Well, TripSavvy.com have what their idea, the 10 must-have Elvis albums in your collection.
Okay.
And I'm going to start at 10 and we'll go down to number 1. But
do you think I have these?
Oh, between you and I, we've got everything out there,
Oh, good.
All right.
Get worried.
Number 10, this was on our list recently when we did a survey, is Moody Blue is number 10.
Okay.
They say number 9 on their list is Elvis, the 30 number 1 hits, which is I highly recommend because just for the sound quality alone.
Yeah, it's a good sound.
Number 8, The Ultimate Gospel. A lot of folks will agree with that one.
Good one.
Number 7, He Touched Me, another gospel. You got to have the Elvis Christmas album. That's number 6.
Oh, yeah.
The Sun Sessions, number 5. Very important era. You got to do that.
Yeah.
Number 4, the 50 greatest love songs. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Number 3, recorded live on stage in Memphis, Tennessee. Great live concert. That and Madison Square Garden are pretty close in my book for the best live performance.
Absolutely. I think I lean more towards the Memphis one than the Madison Square.
Because he's home. He's home.
And you can hear it in his voice. He's so happy to be home.
Very at ease, too.
And I had a friend, Lisa Stewart, who was just a little girl.
She was there?
I think she was like 10 or 12. Yeah, she was there.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. Yeah. We love to hear from people who've seen Elvis in concert, too, or seen him, or met him or something. We would love to hear from you. Number 2, The Essential Elvis, which is a little mixture of everything. Yeah. And they have as number 1 album that everybody must have is the original Elvis 1956 album called Elvis.
Oh.
Now, my question is...
That's number 1?
Yeah. My question is, where's Elvis is Back? That's my favorite album.
That's
Elvis
an awesome
is Back.
album. I like that album better than the original Startup album.
Where's From Elvis Presley Boulevard in Memphis, Tennessee? Where's Promised Land album? Or the
Today album
with Promised Land and all that stuff. Yeah, where are they?
What is going on?
Again, everybody who is anybody who aren't real diehard Elvis fans like us, that's just what they think.
So I would say if you had all these albums, you would cover a good mix of his music.
Right.
But if you're a diehard, you need way more than that.
I could not agree more.
That's not enough.
All right. We like to share information and stories because one of our goals, you and I have talked about this many times, is to share with people Elvis's personality. Let them know who the guy was. And I think we do a pretty good job of it. And
Right. That's exactly true.
And we talk a lot about his charitable contributions through the years, as in the latter years a lot of times. But there was a young Elvis who had a pretty good heart, right?
Absolutely. Well, I think Gladys, especially, not that Vernon did not have his hands in Elvis's upbringing, but I think Gladys was a big influence on Elvis, and also their poverty-stricken, poverty-stricken young childhood, growing up in Tupelo. And they relied on the kindness of their neighbors and their church, and they were very thankful whenever people would donate food to them, and clothes. So I think when Elvis started to get famous and to have money, he automatically right away went to helping locals in the area with that.
He never
all
forgot.
The charities. Yes, he never forgot how important it was to his family for someone to give them some jelly. Or whatever. People grew, their own food back then, which is where that term, the truck patch, poke salad in it, truck patch.
Carry it home in a truck sack.
Truck patch. And they would grow their food out of the back of their truck if that's all they could do to try to eat, if they didn't have land, and so all that made sense to Elvis. So early on, starting all the way back when he finally got some money in 1957, he started right away helping out his alma mater, Humes High School.
Okay.
He donated over $1,000 to be sure that every student could attend the annual E.H. Crump Memorial Football Game for the blind in Memphis.
Okay.
He wanted to be sure that everybody had the money to go because it did cost. And when Elvis attended there, he couldn't go to anything.
Right.
Because he didn't have any money. So I thought that was really wonderful. Then also in 57, he also went back to Tupelo and did a series of live concerts there. And all the money that was raised from that went to Elvis Presley Youth Foundation. And it was like over 14,000 tickets sold or something. But that right away set up the foundation there in Tupelo. Also in 57, Elvis had a heart for many of the diseases like cerebral palsy, polio that was running. And he would pose and as well as record ads for many of the charity foundations that were involved. And polio being a big one, it started running his ad in October 28, 57. And by April of 57, so in 6 months, they were able to raise enough money to give out so many immunization shots in America with the money that was raised.
Amazing.
That they were saying that by the April of 57, that the Salt Institute declared polio all but eradicated from the U.S. soil.
Amazing.
So just loaning his voice in his face.
Wow.
Yeah. It's something else.
Amazing fellow. That's why we love him, isn't it, baby?
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a big show, a real big shoe. Here is Elvis.
Rock and roll music, if you like it, and if you feel it, you can't help but move to it.
Join Blue Suede Connection every week.
This is a real, decent, fine boy.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sullivan.
Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And hit that notification bell.
We are your Blue Suede Connection.